I would not have started to investigate the silver stacking concept if I didn't even know that silver stacking was a thing. So what I had realized was, what started it all for me was a friend of mine casually bringing it up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and staying safe. Today I wanted to talk about, you guessed it, silver, and how you can introduce your friends or family to the silver stacking concept if you want to. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there, go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. So today I want to talk about how you can, if you choose to, tell people or introduce someone to the silver stacking concept for long-term wealth preservation. If you want to help them out or show them something interesting or introduce them to maybe what we have going on over here. Now, believe it or not, this was actually video 2 of 2 for the day. I posted another video earlier this afternoon. It was a prepping product review video. If you haven't seen it, you should probably go check it out. I talked about something new that I got. Nifty little gadget. It's really cool, and I think it could be a total lifesaver. So that was posted just a couple of hours ago if you want to go check that out. But today I wanted to talk about silver as for my second video because I was thinking about it today. I have not told many people at all about my silver. There's only a very small number of people in my real life. I mean, let's be honest. I've told over 12,000 people here on my YouTube channel with over 1.5 million grand total views. That's a lot of people who know about my silver. But as for the people in my life, the people who I hang out with, the people that I associate with, the people that I work with, the people that I'm related to, I'm going to be honest, pretty much none of them know. A very small number of them do. Some of them see it more as a hobby. They probably think that I just have maybe a handful of coins. They have no idea how much I have or what exactly I have or how long I've been doing this for. Some people know that I got a couple of coins. Other people know that I'm stacking silver for long-term wealth preservation purposes, and these are the people that I personally feel I can trust. If I end up being wrong, then that's my own problem. But the way I see it is, since the conversations that I have with people on a regular basis either start out as a conversation about money or it's a conversation about something not related to money that eventually turns into a conversation about money. Point being is we talk about money a lot, my friends and I, and a very small number of them invest in the stock market or are involved in business or are involved in real estate. They're very money driven, and this is a very small number of people that I know, and a few of them I've introduced to the silver and gold stacking concept. Now, the reason I did this was because I thought it would be, number one, an interesting conversation. I would love to see what someone who is heavily involved in the stock market or a big real estate guy or someone who's super into business, I would really be interested and fascinated by their opinion of this alternate form of wealth preservation, something that is in fact money. And I've talked to a couple different people about this, and one way you can go about introducing a friend or family member of yours to silver, if you want to, is by simply showing them a coin or two. I will be honest, when I was first introduced to silver, I didn't actually start stacking it until probably maybe 2 years after the fact. What actually got me involved was having a piece of silver in my hand for the very first time, holding on to a troy ounce of silver. My very first time in my life holding on to real, true, honest money. That was a game changer for me. At that point, that's all it took. So one way you could introduce someone to the silver stacking concept is by simply saying something along the lines of that maybe you found a coin, or someone gave you a coin, or maybe you just picked up the coin on your own. You got a coin because you thought that it was interesting. Maybe you're thinking about starting a little miniature coin collection, or maybe a family member passed their coin collection down to you and you're just kind of interested in it and you want to know what they think of your newfound hobby, or whatever the case may be. Same thing go for cars or video games or art, or really anything out there, fishing, anything. Something that you're interested in, you're probably eventually going to have a conversation with a very close friend or a family member about it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do, however, find something wrong with broadcasting to everyone, and I'm not talking about essentially an anonymous YouTube video. I'm talking about going around telling everybody who doesn't need to know, just going and giving too many people too much information. And by this I mean, number one, how much silver and gold you have, and maybe the extent of why and how long you've been stacking and how long you plan on stacking for. I mean, if you tell too many people that type of information, they can probably gauge that you have quite a bit, and in the future you will have quite a bit more, and it's just going to keep piling up and up and up and up, and eventually you're going to have a whole room full of valuable precious metals. And I don't think that everyone in your life, all of your friends, all of your family members, all of your neighbors, all of your coworkers should really know that information. Reason I say that is because I've been saying this for a couple years now. If you wouldn't tell someone how much cash you have in your bank account, why in the world would you tell them how much money you have in your safe or wherever it is that you keep your silver? I do have an issue with that, and I have never in my life disclosed how much silver or gold I have to anyone on the planet. Nobody knows. I'm the only one that knows. Just this guy. And I plan on keeping it that way. That's why I don't make full stack videos. I don't believe it's anyone in the world's business how much money one makes, spends, saves, or anything like that. So the same reason I don't publicly broadcast it on YouTube is the same reason I don't tell friends and family members about how much silver I have. I don't text my friends every time I get a new piece of silver and be like,
hey, just added 15 more ounces to the stack.
I don't do that. I do, however, have very small conversations. And one way that I have found to be pretty successful is by asking them if they've ever heard of storing your dollar bills in precious metals as a hedge against inflation. I've talked to people about this.
Hey, there's some crazy people out there who get these silver bars. I thought only pirates did that. There's people in 2020, there are people today that are stacking big silver bars and coins and stuff like that.
Just to get their opinion. It's like throwing a little bit of bait out there. I'll tell you something, I have a lot of strange conversations with my friends. We talk about all different types of things. So, me randomly bringing up precious metals shouldn't be too surprising to them. I bring up a lot of strange things, just to get their opinion. I like to bounce ideas off of people. I like to get their thoughts, their opinions, their feedback. I like to see how other people view concepts that are not typical, not what most people would refer to as average or normal or usual. I always love to see, I'm always fascinated to see what people think of these concepts. Oftentimes they're concepts that they've never heard of before. Odds are, before you started stacking silver, you had no idea that silver stacking was even a thing. That's how I was. When I found out that a very good friend of mine from my childhood, who moved and came back to visit us, when he told me that every time he gets a paycheck, he runs to the coin shop and he picks up at least 1 or 2 silver coins, 1 or 2 troy ounces of silver, and how he had been doing this for years, and he had stockpiled, I believe, probably a couple 100 ounces of silver at the time. First time I heard him talk about this, I had to ask him,
Why? What is that for? What does that do? What's the purpose of that? Why do you need to do that? What does that mean? What is it for? I don't get it.
and then when he started to explain the difference between money and currency, money and fiat, fake versus real, it started to make sense. It got the gears moving a little bit, but I still didn't fully grasp the concept. Until about a year or two later, I went on this website called YouTube and I looked up silver videos. I don't know, something reminded me of the conversation that he and I had about silver. And I got curious about it a year or so later, and I looked up some videos. I came across some channels like Overtax and Sal. Those are the two main channels that I actually learned the most from. And I thought it was fascinating. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really interesting. And I would look at their videos and their live streams and the comments, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of people who are involved in this silver stacking thing. I didn't get it entirely, but I liked the way that it sounded. Something just clicked. It made sense to me. And I took a $20 bill over to my local coin shop and I picked up my very first piece of silver. Actually, I think it was $22, but that's besides the point. But you know what I realized? The gears would not have started moving. I would not have started to investigate the silver stacking concept. I wouldn't have been able to study the markets. I wouldn't have any reason to look up silver stacking videos if I didn't even know that silver stacking was a thing. So what I had realized was, what started it all for me was a friend of mine casually bringing it up. So the way I see it is, what if I casually bring it up? And I don't mean to every single person I talk to. I'm not talking about the cashier at the grocery store. I'm not talking about the guy at the bank. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about every once in a while when there's something that comes up that has to do with money or saving money, and I could just say something along the lines of, hey, you know, there's people out there who actually put their money into silver and gold, and it saves it that way, and it, you know, prevents it from depreciating in value, because that's kind of what the dollar bill does, which is unfortunate because that's what we're paid in. And they're like, oh, really? That sounds pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. Or that sounds pretty weird. Or that sounds pretty stupid. Everybody has a different opinion. And you can have some conversations about it. Like, yeah, I actually looked into it. I thought it was pretty fascinating. I thought it was pretty cool. It's pretty old school, but it's also new school at the same time because it's a brand new concept to you. People have been doing it for thousands of years, but you'd never really heard of it before. You didn't know that it was a thing. So fortunately for me, I was blessed and lucky enough for someone to introduce the silver stacking concept to me, just casually. We were having a conversation and it turned into money or saving money or making money, and I told him a couple of the things that I had going on, and he said that he doesn't have any method of making money necessarily other than his job. He doesn't have like a side business or anything like that, but he had a way of saving money, and that's when he started talking to me about silver. So it just came up in conversation, and now I have an entire YouTube channel dedicated to talking about silver and gold and whatnot. So who knows? If you have a conversation, if you introduce the concept to somebody, it could potentially be a complete and total game changer. Now, like I said, I don't believe there's any reason in the world to disclose to anyone in the world how much silver you have or all of the details about your silver and gold stack or anything like that. I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think you need to do that. I don't think you need to tell anybody at all. At the end of the day, you don't have to tell anybody about your silver and your gold. You don't have to introduce it to anyone. You can keep it to yourself. You can keep it a secret if you want. There's nothing wrong with keeping it a secret. There's nothing wrong with telling a person or two. Just understand that, unfortunately, even though you can trust the person that you're telling, you really have no idea if he or she will end up telling a person or two or three or 12. You don't really know. But if it's someone you trust, if it's someone that you respect and respects you and can respect your privacy, I personally see nothing wrong with it. Especially if it's just a casual conversation. You don't even have to tell them that you're stacking silver and gold. You can tell them that you saw a video about someone who stacks silver and gold and you thought it was a pretty cool concept. The point I'm trying to get across is that by introducing the silver stacking concept to a friend of yours who maybe needs help financially, and I don't mean someone who's asking you for money or anything like that, but somebody who wants to get ahead, somebody that wants to save for the future, somebody that wants pretty much what we're doing over here, long-term wealth preservation purposes. The cool thing is they don't have to buy anything. All they have to do is convert their dollars into something that stands a pretty good chance, holding its value and potentially going up in value and acting as a hedge against inflation. I mean, if you think about it, silver and gold, they're almost like inflation-proof money in a way. So unfortunately, just by storing cash in the bank, you're not really getting ahead, even though that's kind of the picture that they paint, to store all your money in the bank. But they don't just tell you to store your money in the bank, they also tell you to spend all your money on stuff you don't need. So we're getting a lot of mixed signals, and we've been for our entire lives. But I believe, in my opinion, from my perspective, silver is a way of getting away from all that. Getting away from being obliterated by inflation, getting away from obsessive consumerism. Silver and gold, it's almost like the way out. I don't want to say that it's a solution to the problem, but it's pretty close to one. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, how would you, or how have you, or would you introduce a friend or family member or somebody that you know to the precious metals? And if you guys want to join the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller, easier to manage. I'm also doing giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shout-outs, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale, and you can watch all of the YouTube videos commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe. New videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,500, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products, t-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin. And of course, the limited edition DYDSS Christmas line, which is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It's only available until Christmas, so get one while you can. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, if you were to introduce a friend or a family member to the silver or maybe the gold stacking concept, how would you go about doing it? Or how have you gone about doing it? Have you or would you tell whoever it is that you're going to talk to about it that you're stacking silver, you've been stacking silver, you've been doing it for a couple of years, maybe you got a couple hundred or a couple thousand ounces of silver, maybe you disclosed that information in hopes that it would inspire them to start stacking. Maybe you did it in a little bit more of a subtle and low-key way, as I would go about doing it and as I have in the past, just by casually bringing it up. Sometimes saving money just comes up in conversation, and you can talk about how you saw a video about some crazy DYDSS guy who stacks silver and gold after he's done taking care of his financial responsibilities, after he goes to work every day to trade his most valuable asset, his time, for those fake, depreciating, glorified IOU fiat currency dollar bills. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.